My forehead's big. But it's effectively a 5 head. Look at this shit. Shit. Alright, last time we VOD reviewed Kit was a month ago now. It was Ascendant 2. Now he is Mortal 1. Mortal 1. There for you, Mr. Okay. Last month's note, util usage is good. Peaks and crosshair placement looks good, but sensitivity looks unbelievably high. Oh yeah, because he was shaky, I believe. Maybe the flicks were so fast, I forget. Double satching, alt order, offense, go on execute to create space. Looking at enemy comp, you've called a few contact plays. Should start the round by bidding util. So looking at comp, see if they have a lot of stopping power. Okay. Picking aggressive map control and postment. Okay. More aggressive postment. Jing's playbook of A-ramp. Rotate faster. I remember this. You're giving B play retake because of what? Oh yeah, he was playing B heaven instead of flooding on site. Okay. The kind of map specific stuff. See what happens on bind. There's this old saying that says forehead size and dick size are relative to one another. Well, I can assure you that that is not the case. And girl probably just laughed. Why are you laughing at that? You throwing shade? Nah, it's... What? My forehead is... I don't know. You stay in there. Close the door. Being ridiculous. Let's see. Let's go ahead and hop into the VOD. I'm gonna load up bind just in case. Blase. Apparently not. Demo ballin. The mob. Who are you roasting today? We're roasting Kit today. Doing a follow-up to Kit. He's been put on a schedule, a pretty strict schedule that Ulrich put him on. Kind of like the schedule that I put for my private students. He stuck for it for a month, so we're doing a follow-up VOD. The game's loaded up. MOB ballin. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into this.
Maybe during stream, but it's a fucking bind game, thank God.
Got podcast voice.
Okay, Yoru, right here.
Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Max, if they go beer, you don't go through TP.
Okay. A short start, TP coordination. Playing a 5 duelist bind game, love that. Got absolutely shit on. This chamber is like kind of late though, to be fair.
Oh my god, of course.
I mean, I like the jump spot playstyle, right? Like you're kind of just getting early info short. You could maybe argue if we're being a little bit better with the pre-round, since we have 3 towards A, we might want to consider aggressing A short a little bit, right? So we could push up into the cubby. We could even early boombot. That's one of my favorite plays on this map. So let me, Kit, if you're in the call, you might have to go back to the stream for this one. But one of my favorite plays to do on this map is just boombot off barrier. You can't aim at the shadow anymore because short got changed. But you just aim a little bit more to the right. Early boombot like this and just walk down short and peek left side. Boombot will kind of clear your right for you. It doesn't go all the way anymore because the cooldown is short. Or like the length of the boombot's shorter. But it's one of my favorite plays to do. And then I'll just peek and try to get out. And the worst case scenario that happens is when I boombot this and I peek left side. And I can't get it out. I'll just nade and I'll just fight here. That nade might buy me time, and I might actually just be able to jump out with a nade. So, yeah. Any questions on that, Mr. Kit? I know you're in the Discord call, but you're...
No, I don't have any questions on that. I guess something that I do is I boombot on top of the box, but then I don't aggress short. Would that still be considered a good play?
Oh yeah, like if you want to just move out here, like close A short. Since you're playing Frenzy here, I definitely could see that being useful, right? You just like kind of play close short here. You see if they have info, and then you can just boombot. And then if they're coming up, then you can... So I guess the strength of playing this position is the reason why you would do it here instead of aggressing. So obviously this is an aggro peak. If you don't want to go for that aggro peak, playing here is good specifically because it's close range. So you can kind of stop the push with the nade, like bounce off your nade here. Or you could also nade the Skydog if you're playing close, either right side or deep left. So to me, that's the main reason of why you would want to play around this area. And then more of so that Boombot is a supplement rather than, oh, I'm playing here specifically for the Boombot. Like you're playing here for the nade spots, and the Boombot is just an option, if that makes sense. Whereas like the play you're doing here with the aggro Boombot is more of a play specifically for the Boombot and to take the duel, if that makes sense. Like the combo on those two are a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, back to the game.
Oh my
Yeah, we got shit on. Round 2, I always skip round 2s. Top A short with Guardian. I think you have enough money to go light armor with double satchel here. Let's see, money. 35.50. What does that math do? Light armor. This is 4, so you would be able to get 1 satchel, right? What is that math? 33, then 35. So 1 satchel, light armor, phantom. Yeah, I think that buys way better than full armor guardian.
It's hard to...
I know. Light armor phantom over full armor guardian. That's just maybe my preference though. But especially on a map like Bind, I really like to have the phantom just because of the close fights. We'll see. Maybe he's a guardian god. Reyna took TP. Damn.
Nice.
Reyna
Good
gets 2. This guy's the goat. I guess that's another downside of playing up here, top tank, is that if we do have hookah contacts, it's a little bit late. I'm not saying this spot is bad inherently. It's just, it doesn't let you capitalize off of hookah TP play like you did on, like you wanted to coordinate on pistol round. Just worth considering. The young rotate. You want to have nade in hand
Nice, good
here,
picks.
whatever you rotate B. I'm not really sure what your thought process here when you're rotating, but 2 dead hookah players means that it's likely a B split, right? Otherwise, why would there be 2 hookah? So they're probably coming to B long here. You should have nade out just in case there's something, and then you can jump throw nade. If you're curious on the jump throw nade, I'll show you on the stream. As you're rotating, you always have eyes on minimap with your nade out just in case you need to do it. If you're going for the jump throw nade, you kind of aim kind of low here and just jump throw, and then it goes pretty deep. If you extend your running a little bit, you can get it all the way closer to long. Something like this, where you're a little bit closer. And then your nade pellets can be closer to long. And then, I guess since I'm showing it, if you aim high somewhere around this like little square thingy that pops out and you just run through it instead of jumping, it lands closer to front sight. So like if they're hookah dropping or something like that, I like to do that one. But again, if you're rotating from A to B and you're rotating from spawn, you should always have nade in hand. Just to look at minimap here. Any questions on that?
No. I think I do use that nade later in the VOD,
Oh.
but yeah, I definitely wasn't thinking about that this round.
Gotcha. Do you run out? Do you run with util out as fast as knife? I'm not sure actually.
Oh my god.
Look at the nade here.
Spike
Oh, deep.
down B.
Nice shot.
One enemy remaining.
Was also long. Was diving from long.
Why would Boombot die here? You lose the round. Okay, so one thing to consider here. So we actually do end up using our nade on the rotate, which is great. You want to, again, be looking at minimap. So we see the minimap here. Sky is somewhat deep and Reyna is closer. So in my opinion, you actually want your nade to land close long, like in the square, rather than super deep long. So in this case, you go for the run
Oh
throw.
my god.
I might even consider backpedaling to throw it closer to us. It's kind of like the idea like when you play Roller, and you do Astra Suck. You never deep suck, right? Like if I'm playing Astra here and I'm putting stars, you would never suck here, right? You would probably suck for the execute here for the flood. And that's what I'm thinking with your nade. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Fun.
There's also a bit minimap awareness, not seeing them in time.
Spike
Right.
down B.
Always look at
One
minimap on the
enemy
rotate. And as soon as you get this kill, it's 2v1. You might as well use your boombot just to buy time for your Phoenix. Kind of get a little bit more info on where this guy is, and I'll like minimize the chances you throw this round. You might think jiggling like this
Also long was
is like
Dagon from
decent to
long.
not throw the round, and it's not bad, but he could definitely just double tap you through the, I don't even know what you would call this, the tube. And it can be a little bit rough. So for best play here, I would consider just boombotting, and then you might start repositioning right side, or if the boombot like lets you go out a little bit more, you might reposition more left side. But I guess to sum it down, use the boombot here because you don't really want to give him the duel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So far, so good. The rotate was good.
Yeah.
Just kind of small stuff here so far. Playing top tank again. Do you have any type of thought process when you play up here? Like, why do you choose this spot over others, for example?
I feel like I play up here just because I don't want to call it an unexpected angle, but harder to deal with angle.
Mhm.
And since Phoenix has been playing hookah fairly frequently, having the high-low to some extent.
Yeah, just to switch it up a little bit. Okay, makes sense. You get the kill. I see you like line up this angle. Like, I think this is the first time I've seen someone line up like this. Is this something that you've intentionally done?
Yeah, that's kind of like an OCD thing to some extent.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
I don't think it serves any good purpose.
Okay, gotcha. It's pretty interesting though. I just noticed it twice now.
Spike down.
Get the kill short. You're still challenge. It's kind of interesting that the Astra is the one fighting you. So that's bomb,
Spike down.
right?
A.
We do end up getting bomb, which is nice. There's a few things you can do now that I'm thinking of. One, you could actually just nade to try to push them away from bomb, so you can control bomb a little bit more aggressively. Two, you could just, I guess, reposition completely. So you might even consider going to B. You might even go showers and double up with the Reyna here, but just being really unexpected. This goes back to the idea of being active, getting the kill and just going for another on this, I guess, tank is an ego sort of thing, right? Like chances are if they know you're there, they re-swing you and you get traded, it's a 4v4. I'm not saying it's bad to do. I've done it plenty of times where like if you feel like you're feeling it and you think you can get the secondary duel and open the round with a 5v3 instead, like you can do that, but it's a lot more risky because you're not playing chamber or jet, right? I think that might be a habit you have from playing jet. Like if you got a kill without dash, you pop dash, you would just sit here and go for another kill. Hopefully they swing you and then you would dash away. But as Raze, you kind of want to think more about repositioning. So for me, that would either be nading, pushing forward, dropping, going to showers, or maybe even full rotating B. But in my opinion, I think I would just nade and push forward just because we do have the bomb there. And I want to play, and I guess this is a secondary thing when you're playing Raze. Her kit is close range specific, right? So being top tank, you can't really utilize the close range stuff. But if you, going back to my Valorant here, right? If I'm top tank, get this kill, I nade, I drop down. That buys me time to get close to follow up with Boombot. And then based on what this Boombot aggroes, I might be able to throw a satchel somewhere and get another kill, or satchel left side to delay while I kill right side, something of that sort. But it just lets me be a little bit more in tune with my util. Whereas like when I'm up here, the only util I can use is my nade. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
So this position doesn't leverage your kit at all. It gives you a fight, which is a favorable fight, right? It's a vertical fight for you. It's a off angle, height advantage, whatever you want to call it. But as soon as you get the fight you want here, you want to start thinking about using your kit to get more value, I guess, because Raze is the only agent that can really do this, right? Whereas like sitting up here, anyone can do this, but some agents can do it better than others. Like I said, Jet, Chamber, maybe even Reyna, but Raze is not one of those. So just try to think about using your util in a way that kind of aligns with Raze. If that makes sense. Do you have any questions on
Yeah.
that?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
You pretty much just explained what I was thinking.
Cool. Let's see how it plays out though.
Fucking cunt. Too short. More.
Just an aim
Well,
this,
too
to
short.
be honest. We're just fighting them. So you get another kill and you get traded. Like the outcome's pretty good for us. But again, notice how we don't have nade. And this, I'm gonna be bringing this up a lot because if you die without your nade on defense, you're doing something wrong. Generally, not all the time, but generally, because you want to lead most of your duels with the nade, right? Like it's a very powerful ability. You get resets on your nade. So instead of thinking about just getting kills off of positioning, you want to think more so about how to get kills off of comboing your utility. And to me, that's a very important concept with Raze. I've touched on it before, but I like to think of Raze as like a fighting game. Like if you ever played Super Smash Bros. Or I don't know, even Street Fighters.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, you
when
like-
you were saying comboing.
Yeah, you combo like, so like I boombot swing or I satchel peek, like I throw a satchel at them, swing, or nade swing. Like you always want to kind of combo like that. And to be fair, I'm not really good at Super Smash Bros. So I don't know if it really works like that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. You really want to combo your abilities here with your swings.
Too
You can think about that too if you play any flash agent, but super important. So again, we're playing a short. Looking at ults here. I don't know if you really look at ults anymore much, but every single pre-round, I always look at money. So you can see tab here, money. The money's kind of shit. They do have Phoenix ult and they do have Chamber ult. So I'm thinking at the very least they have a decent buy, right? Like Chamber might buy one, he might op. Like it's kind of scary. So by that logic, I would be playing fairly passive and for the rush. Like I'm kind of playing anti-rush right now. And I don't want to hard peek too much against the Chamber ult, right? Because I might int. So with that type of thinking, I think you picking U-Haul here is pretty good. You can nade when they come up, like kind of doing Jing play style. Another position you might consider, just because you've played A so far every single round, is you could play B. If you play B and they try to do like a hookah, a Sky, a B split with Phoenix ult through hookah or Phoenix ult through long and then Sky going the opposite, you would be able to stop one of those areas and just stop the split completely. And another thing to consider again is because they have those ults, I'd rather stop them from hitting B rather than A because I don't want to play retake B. So there's a lot of factors there, but we've been playing A. They might go B with their ults. I don't want to play retake B. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So either U-Haul or playing B is what I'm thinking. B-round. We'll kind of see what happens. We get picked from the chamber out, then
Let's play.
unlucky. We don't even really want to be jump peeking here, to be honest. This guy fighting is kind of dumb. Yeah, and he dies,
One more,
which is
my
why it's
bad.
dumb. If you die to this guy, you throw in the round. Yeah, jump peeking this guy also is really bad. If he's good, he kills you here. You don't need to get more info. This Phoenix just died to the op. We know op A short. The reason why you jump peek is to get safe info. So you're getting redundant info here, which is even risking your life. Even though jump peeking is quote unquote safe against an op, it's not necessarily safe. So just understand that, I guess. We already have the info. Don't get redundant info. Just think about what you can do with the info. So with that said, what can you do with the info? As soon as this Phoenix dies, 3, 2, 1, what do you think is the best play? Watching it back.
I mean, since he died right in front, it's impossible for them to push off of that.
Oh yeah, the chamber slow. Gotcha. Okay.
So I wouldn't want to use nade yet, but probably preparing to use nade. So because they get the pick on A, they do know A is our generally strong site, so they might want to commit after that.
Okay. So when you're trying to get prepared for the nade, do you have a general idea of where you want to throw it?
I usually just throw it right above boxes.
Above boxes. So like bouncing it off here, so it lands here.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. And then do you like to peek with that nade?
Really depends. Since chamber is here, I probably wouldn't peek off it, but I'd use it to help rotates.
Okay.
One more, my bad.
Yeah, it plays out.
Too short.
That's too short.
One enemy.
Yoru assassination.
Nice, good shit, Yoru.
Just
Nice.
Jesus
So
fucking Christ.
we didn't really do too much, but you did delay with the nade for the Yoru ult, so they actually weren't even able to execute, which is kind of nice. I don't really think there's much to change there. On to the next rounds. Going for the boombot short.
Go get him.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Obi.
Watch it, find it. That's allowed.
It's actually gonna get out. I see. Run me through the thought process here, and then again after that, maybe we can outline some things you could change.
Go get him.
Pre-round here, I called for the Reyna to push up with my boombot.
Yeah.
Because since we have a Reyna, I think it's just better for her to peek that than me.
Yep. Why the
Uh,
boombot over the nade? I'm not no right or wrong here. I'm just curious.
I feel like Nade's much stronger, so I don't want to use it so early if they don't end up committing.
Gotcha.
You're dead.
Then off of the boombot aggro here, do you think it's better to use nade rather than taking the duel, since they are here?
Yeah, thinking back on it is definitely a lot better.
Okay, so in the future, if we're doing this play, we would boombot, wait for aggression, would have nade out in your hand already, and then off contact you would nade.
Yeah, because then also it makes it easier for Reyna to get out.
Okay. Cool. After this nade here, do you think you would do anything differently, and what's the thought process on what you're doing now?
My thought process here was really slow in game. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for them to push and then I'm gonna out aim them. But then I remembered, oh, Phoenix is pushing up. I can't just wait because he's gonna flash me.
Okay. So how can
And-
you fight that in the future?
Probably just satcheling out early and trying to reposition into U-Haul.
Okay, I see that, like a repositional play. That could definitely work. On this example, I kind of want you to think about how would you actually hold your ground here and make this maybe potentially a winnable or like a winning position.
Probably throwing a satchel on the ground,
Okay.
then off the flash or the peak, then satchel them up, get that kill, throw another satchel on the ground.
Okay.
Just
Yep.
try and fight there as long as possible.
Weaving the satchels. You could even consider changing nade position since it's a little late, right? Like this guy dies.
Yeah.
When I hear Phoenix Ult or Skydog, there's two ways to throw nade. I'm going back into Valorant to showcase this. I'm going to turn on audio so people aren't confused. So doing the nade like this, in my opinion, is a little too slow, right? Chances are if they're already swinging like this, the nade comes in, they'll just keep swinging wider. And then they'll just start pushing. So this nade doesn't necessarily stop the push. Unless you do it really early round, it just cancels Skydog, right? That's what this nade is for. So when you're kind of playing close to short like this, and they might rush you, the better nade to throw is either here or here. And you can see they both land in similar positions. That one actually bounced the wrong way. I want it to bounce a little bit front like this, right? To kind of completely cancel the hit. Because if the nade lands here, they can't even jump up on the box. See? So
Yeah.
what it could look like is boombot, you could just wait, get aggro on the Reyna, and then get ready to nade this, completely cancel the hit. And then you might even swing behind the nade to get a kill. And then start throwing, satchels like you said to take fights. But to me, the big thing to change here is actually the nade position. You could even nade left side if you wanted to. But I think to me, the best nade is just to throw it here, like I said, for the rush. And then if you did throw this nade, right? Boom, nade, then you could throw your satchel here. And then when he runs past it, the Phoenix ult, you could checkmate him. Because the nade pops here, he pushes forward, your satchel's here, so it's a little checkmate. And to me, that's how you would make this a winning position. After you kill Phoenix ult, then you could probably do that reposition that you talked about into U-Haul. Or maybe you would reposition showers. Or you could even just stay around here and kind of play anti-flash and get a kill, something, I don't know. But to me, again, I said the nade position, location is the big thing to change, and then fighting with your satchels. I don't know if that's the best play or not, but because we already allocated some resources, like your Boombot and your nade, to kind of contest short, and then you just run away with Satchel afterwards because your Reyna dies, feels a little bit wasteful, right? Like, that's more than half of our kit. We're not going to really win the retake with half of our kit. Well, technically we only have one Satchel, right? So since we're kind of fully committed here with Boombot nade, you do want to at least get one kill or delay a little bit longer to try to win the round. And maybe to expand a little bit further, the chances that you actually win the retake, right, if you Satchel out here is very low. We're in a 4v5, you have no util, and you'd be giving them full A site. So it's a 4v5 post plant, but they have advantage and you have nothing to retake. So it's, regardless, it's high risk, right? But the reward is higher if you stay and try to get a kill and make it a more winnable position. And this is like the inflection point for a lot of rounds for duelists, is they fall back too early because they get scared of the rush, which is, you know, understandable. There is a lot of util coming out at you. Like, they have 3 flash characters, a whole Phoenix ult, and potentially a Skydog, so it's not going to be easy. But if you can't even, like, if you can't stall or even like get value out of it after using your whole kit, you're going to lose the round anyways, in my opinion. You're like asking for a miracle at that point. So it's kind of like weighing whether or not you think the post plant retake situation is going to be higher odds to win the round versus staying and fighting. And you can't really think about this in the round, so that's why we're doing it out of the game. So in the future, if you are in a situation like this where you're contesting map control, you don't want to be so afraid to give it up if it doesn't go exactly your way. Like, we have to be fighting for map control. And since you have Raze as your agent, right? Raze has nade, Raze has Satchel. Contesting map control is like literally part of your job description. If you think about so what I'm thinking about with bind A short, you can pull the parallel to Ascent A main. If they were to rush A main right now with Phoenix ult and Sky util, all you have to do is throw a nade off of this wall and land it right here. And then the hit is dead, right? If they push through the nade, then you can do the Satchel checkmate thing that we talked about, and you would be able to delay. You can see this pattern on choke points is applicable everywhere as Raze. You nade, you Satchel, you stop the rush. Do you kind of see what I'm saying here?
Yeah. The first thing I thought of after this was Sunset as well. Sunset B main.
Sunset B main, yep. So you can do it really everywhere. It's split, you know, you can do it A ramp, A main even. Like, your kit is, your nade, in my opinion, is stronger than Molly's because it fucks up crosshair placement. So you really want to consider fighting more aggressively when you use nade. Like, your whole kit, in my opinion, is your nade. Like, it's such a strong ability that if you throw it, you need to fight. If you don't throw your nade, like, we could take a step back. If we use Boombot here and we didn't nade and your Reyna dies, then you might be able to make the argument to play retake with your nade, because you would be able to nade retake U-Haul, or you might be able to nade and deny plant and buy time, or, you know, you would be able to use your nade to cheese opportunities, right? So if that is the situation, you Boombot early, your Reyna dies and you just leave, then you might consider using the nade for retake. But even then, I probably would still use my nade to contest it. But you could like make the argument that you would play retake if you really, really wanted to. Any questions about that at all?
No. You've made me realize I'm using my nade way too passively.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably see that more in this one.
It's a normal thing, to be fair. So early Boombot again. There's 3 hookah. Be
2 more.
ready for this,
Mark it.
hopefully.
On an ult. 3
Don't you
actually.
do with me?
1
Obi.
long.
I'm NT. Timing's not bad on it, right? It's just he's kind of out of it.
3
Don't you
actually.
do with me?
1 B long.
That's tough. It's really hard to get good timing on the hookah TP. If you don't have like something to base it off of minimap. It's kind of unfortunate that is the case. You might consider, after you nade and see him left side here, to try to throw Satchel at him to make this a favorable fight, or 2, Satchel your feet and single Satchel peek this guy. I know there's 2 players here. I don't know that. Did Yorg kill one? Okay, so chances are there are two. Sorry. So the Phoenix and the Astra is gonna be in Astra form.
Two
But
more.
um,
I wanna ult.
you have to use util somehow to
Really?
make this Phoenix fight
One bill
work,
on.
right? So the nade was your first combo. He's not there, so you can't combo that. So now we need to again think about using util for combo again, and you would either do that by satcheling enemy or satcheling out. In this example, I'm not really sure what the best one is. I think you can make a case for both, but I definitely prefer to throw satchels at enemy because it feels a little bit safer because you can kind of play around cover. But I could also see it getting stuck on the wall or something. So yeah, make sure you always try to use util to combo your fights, and this is going to be a very common pattern for you when you take the hookah TP. If you watch any of my VODs, if I see a guy here, you'll see me like util dump the fuck out of anyone here. Like if I don't get the fight that I want, I will util dump. Like if they're not in the nade running away, for example. So I mean you have to, right? Like they have the advantage on you here, like this Phoenix. They know which side of the TP you're on, like so they can crosshair placement you. You don't really know exactly what angle they are, so it's a lot harder for you if you don't use util. But to sum it up all in one point, combo your util to start your fights. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I guess like one thing you might consider since you early boombotted here,
Bomb buddy out.
you might start thinking about insta flanking or positioning to flank rather than taking TP. I probably would still take TP in this instance, but it's something worth considering since we haven't flanked yet, is to go for an early fast flank here. If you did want to coordinate that TP, then we need to tell this Yuri to play safer. So this is like a hindsight thing, but to get you thinking about flanking, you could use this boombot to start early flanking. And then you'd be flanking in market within like 10 seconds. Pretty strong. Fortunately, retake
Stay
B.
like half a second.
Was this
and
a
then
raise ult
if you
play?
Blind like right here. Yeah, we were on a save, so I decided I'll push short. I'll right side, they go left.
Nothing there. Unfortunate.
I've got your trail.
I like the play though. Seems like a pretty good play. Take the safe route by falling back. I mean, we only have classic, so that's fair.
That's two.
Up the homie.
I'm staying in here.
Hey, no spawn, no spawn.
Oh, they just never
Yep, finish.
commit.
That's interesting.
One speed, one speed. Nice.
We decided not to take Nate TP with the Reyna.
Astra.
I mean, this is Lurker. What the fuck
Astra
is he doing there?
hookah.
Oh, this is free.
One hookah.
Hey, you need this guy? Do we win the round?
One enemy
I don't
remaining.
even need
I
it.
thought
I
I
know.
think that's got an elbow.
Elbow, elbow.
Hobie.
Hitting elbow.
Elbow.
Nice. So this was good. You see the difference between this round and the previous round? There's a guy there. You boombot. Boombot helps you take this duel. You double swing with the Reyna. And then this fight here, you get to combo with Nade. So this round was a good example of using util to combo your fights. The decision maybe I'm curious about, and maybe you can expand on this for me, is why we decided to stay a short off of this here,
That's two.
rather than maybe even playing fast rotate or...
I'm staying in here.
Hey, no spawn, no spawn.
I guess just I didn't want to completely give up A, especially when we had 3 people going B.
Okay.
Since I have a judge, I don't feel like peeking out TP is very strong.
They're not. Okay. So you're kind of playing the gamble that they
playing
come
gun.
back A. Yeah, playing your gun here. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. If you had a rifle here, would you be more willing to rotate?
Probably I would have just taken straight TP.
Okay. What's Kit Sense? I think he has in the VOD or the forum. What?
1600 0.125.
Hello.
Go get him.
Okay, so really the big thing to think about is why are we using the boombot in the first place? So why do you think you're using boombot in the first place?
Just to establish early A short control.
Okay. With early A short control, what does that mean for you? Like, what's the value of that, I guess?
Make them wonder if someone's pushed up because of the boombot. If they were there, just weren't peeking.
Like in this corner here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of faking a
That-
push up.
Making a push up and seeing whether or not I should prepare for a TP.
Okay. I could see the value in that. Like, you're getting kind of early info. The thing that I want you to think about is
Especially since we don't have a
initiator.
initiator.
Yep. The thing I want you to think about, since you're throwing this every round, is two things. One, the boombot doesn't last as long anymore, so they could very easily just dodge your boombot, right? So the control that you gain from the boombot nowadays isn't very strong. So with that in mind, you might consider using your boombot to kind of follow it. So I guess you might consider like a skydog, you know, how when you follow skydogs to take the space. I would probably think about the boombot in a similar fashion, right? Like, you could almost say that you're wasting your boombot, right? You're throwing boombot early every round, and it's being wasted. If you, I guess there's a lot of things that's coming through my mind here. But one, you could hold your boombot and use it in the mid round because you've already conditioned them that using it early round, so you can kind of get a little bit more value and mind game out of that. Just like if you were playing initiator, you wouldn't always early dart or early flash. You would mix up the timing. But two, if you are going to use the boombot, I think you might want to try to get a little bit more value out of it by, like I said, peeking left side short, or by walking up and peeking right side. And the way we're currently throwing the boombot, by doing it behind the box, you're not actually able to get that value because you're not in a position to capitalize off of it. So again, using your util to try to combo, this is just util to util, or util to get info. But I want you to think also about how you can use this util to set yourself up. And in this example, it's not really necessarily the best play. Maybe even it's not even a good play, but that's what I want you to be thinking about, because wasting your util without being able to take advantage of it is difficult, right? When you're playing initiator, using your util like this is acceptable because it recharges, but boombot doesn't recharge. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. So I guess in the future, it would just be whether or not it's a good play. Try to combo my util.
Yeah, like you could aggress a short, you could walk behind it. Like I showed before, like you just boombot, peek left side, you know, just like trying to get a little bit of value out of the boombot rather than just throwing it to throw. The most common reason why you would early boombot like this is to play fast rotate, right? But if you can't really play fast rotate because you're getting, like, they could just be sitting right behind it. So like some examples where you would be able to play fast rotate is like, going back to the Ascent analogy. If you have one way here, and then you boombot to establish a main control, and then you rotate off, the one way is going to hold a main control for you, right? So then you can leave. But if you're boombotting a short on bind, there is no smoke to hold a short control for you. So if you leave, they could just walk up 2 seconds later, and you don't really get value out of it. Another example would be if you're jump peeking hookah and then you boombot, that could be an opportunity for you to fast rotate, because if this boombot does clear like right side here, where's my drawing tools? If it clears like this right side area here, like the boombot bounces and clears that, then you might consider rotating, because most of the time people actually walk out to the right to go into hookah, right? Sometimes they sit back here, but that is kind of safe. So I guess to sum it up is, if you're going to use early boombot, you want to either use it to get control, like you said, but in this example, I don't think it gives you much control. It just lets you threaten this pocket. So then you might consider using like an early smoke. Like, let's say you early smoked left side and then boombotted right side. That would probably be one way you could use your boombot to get a short control. Not saying that would be even a good play, but it's just something I'm thinking of, because it kind of mirrors the A main on Ascent where you early smoke and then you boombot, and then you can fast rotate because the smoke holds it. And then if they push through the smoke, you would know, because they would have to use util unless they dry walk through a one way, which is dumb. Kind of write this out. I'm gonna put, well, I guess to put the first point is combo your fights with util as if you're a fighting character game. So util fight. till fight. Then the other point I want to put here is if you're using early utility, that means you're trying to get early map control or fast rotate. If you can't do either of those, then it's better to hold. And in this example, it just means the boom bot. But you can even think about like early nade. You smoke it, and then you rotate. And I guess you could even expand it on another point, like if you want to get your teammate the angle, right? Like let's say you boom bot here, and then you get your op posted on A short because the boom bot helps them get the angle, then that's acceptable as well. But basically using your boom bot for like, I don't know. I don't want to say intent because like you're using your boom bot to get early short control, like you said, but I don't think it's very strong. So maybe the better way to word it is I want you to get more value out of your boom bot right now. Like the way we're using it right now, we're not getting good value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Cool.
also comboing teammate utility with my utility.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's like the most common way to, or the most simple way to state that. Let's see how the rest of the round plays out. So we're playing this little area here and dealing this
Joke's
fight.
over. You're dead.
The fuck, this guy's holding shower push. That's the
This
Laker.
fucking god loves lurking. Like, it's actually crazy.
Nice.
Good. Put him down like the
TP
dog
kill the
here.
Phoenix. Oh, we could have killed Phoenix ult.
Running. He's pushing
Spike
hookah.
planted.
I'm flashing out.
One's in hookah.
Satchel out.
And one you might be in. Run.
Backside one.
Specs.
Is that an Astra Star? What the fuck was that? Tripping.
One's in tube. Tube and garden.
One enemy remaining.
That's in garden.
Satchel out. Last player standing.
Left side.
There's a few things I'm thinking about this round, but I'm gonna play it back for you, and then maybe you can tell me what you would like to change.
Go get him.
Reload him. Reload him. Joke's over. You're dead.
That's a B.
This fucking god loves lurking. Like, it's actually crazy. Good. Put him down like the dog he
Out
is.
of charges.
Running. He's pushing
Spike
hookah.
planted.
I'm flashing out.
One's in hookah.
Satchel out.
And one you might be in. Run.
Backside one.
Specs.
My ult's ready.
One's in tube. Tube and garden.
One enemy remaining.
That's in garden.
Satchel out. Last player standing.
Okay.
Left side.
Anything stand out for you?
I could have just insta TP'd off of chamber kill.
Okay.
Especially since the Jets said that they were pushing B.
It's a kill off
I
of
could have
Kimber
gone
kill.
much better
Good. Put
timing
him
there.
down like the dog he
Out
is.
of
Okay.
charges.
That timing would probably
Then-
be good.
Spike
Hookah.
planted.
Also
I'm
just
flashing
nading
out.
through TP instead.
Okay, nading
So
through
then I could
TP.
just insta walk out.
That makes sense. Anything else?
Run.
Backside one.
Specs.
I don't think the satchel and hookah was bad because they called one hookah,
That's in garden.
Mm-hmm.
but I could have jumped out of hookah earlier.
Okay. Like
Tube.
like when you're here.
Tube and garden.
Yeah, because I just waited for like what, 3 seconds.
Yeah. And then what about this fight here?
One enemy remaining.
That's in garden.
Maybe satcheling, starting to satchel a
Left
little
side.
bit closer, so then
Nice, good trade.
I'd get more distance.
Okay. Okay, I can see that more distance. Okay, so there's a few things to consider this round. Everything that you said would be improvements to the round for sure. Maybe a few main things to consider is one, look how long you're juggling A short for. We're actually sitting here for 20 seconds, even longer, 25 seconds. That's a lot of downtime to where they just run on B in the first place, right? It's not very active. We early boom botted, but it didn't give us the advantage of fast rotating at all. So that goes back to the first point, which now ties into this point, is it would have been nice if we actually used our boom bot to kill this lurker earlier, so we would have been able to flank or fast rotate. So that's number one, because this lurker buys too much time. He gets a kill and he holds our rotate for 25 seconds, which is kind of bad. So that's number one. Number two is when you're retaking hookah here, this is kind of like a gamble, but you might consider just nading left side to speed it up, because if you full clear left, then you can just kind of like satchel through into hookah. You could also just double satchel immediately from TP into hookah to match timing for your teammates.
I'm flushing out.
So what I can kind of see here is like you take TP. I guess slowing down with nade actually makes sense because no one's ready.
He's pushing hookah.
Planted.
But then you could just
I'm
single
flushing
satchel
out.
into hookah just to up your pacing.
Pushing hookah.
Like single satchel peek. It's unlikely I would say you die because there's not more than one player. Right? Single satchel peeks are good against one player. Against multiple players you might die, but I think because it chances are it's only one, it's not bad. And then
One's in
here when you're retaking, you want to note where the bomb is. So notice how you peek here and you actually don't see bomb, right? No bomb planted here or here. With that in mind, this is hindsight, but you have to get used to noticing where the bomb is on the retake because that influences everything. Like what are you going to do in this retake? What's your goals? Everything like that. So immediately when I peek out hookah and I don't see bomb planted front sight, I'm like, oh, if I just kill sight guy, then my teammate can stick bomb and I just hold the cross. Right? And then we don't even have to go for the satchel play on the Phoenix afterwards. Like this play is objectively bad because it's not planted front sight. He could just stick the bomb and you just hold him.
Yeah.
And you would only notice that as if you notice bomb position. So as like a easy exercise to do for the focus point is take note of bomb plant position on retakes. I try to look at minimap, maybe ask teammates, but if you can kind of figure out bomb plant position on every retake, it'll help a lot.
Yeah. I feel like I notice where it is, but I don't do anything off of it.
Okay. So
I
then
still
maybe
just play the same.
I guess then we can try to expand this on a second point. What can we do to make this actionable? If it's in a stick position, prioritize bomb. If it's open plant, prioritize kills. That should be simple enough, I guess. So in this example, obviously, let's just outline it. If it's planted in tube, maybe you can even pass to get on bomb. If it's planted open sight, then walking up and fighting the long guy makes sense. Any questions on that?
No questions. It makes sense.
The other point I want to put here is downtime on the round is too much. We're jiggling a short for 25 seconds. We're at 25 seconds where we also 3 boombot. What does that mean? Well, you either need to capitalize off of your boombot or you need to rotate earlier. Because if you boombot it and saw nothing and there's a lurker, that's not your job. Your job is not really to identify and kill lurkers. And you could argue the roles aren't really defined in this game because you have 5 duelists. So you don't really have an anchor, which if you're playing the anchor role because you have 5 duelists, then sure. However, I don't really like the anchor role in general. Like it doesn't really fit Raze. I would rather just lean into the fast rotate playstyle. So I guess think more so about being where the action is rather than dealing with lurkers / you can deal with lurkers and fakes if it becomes a huge problem, but your this is plan B. Like lurkers and flakes, or I'll put it here, or like plan A, fast rotate / fast flank. Plan B is play slower to kill lurkers / deal with fakes. That make sense?
Yeah.
Even guardians.
Wait, this is wait, where am I? Oh, this is still defense. I was like, we're not even on offense half yet. Okay, in that case, let's go ahead and move on to offense. Already have 4 points for defense. Should lurkers and stuff be taken more into account considering their comp being 5 duelists? I mean, yeah, you could argue that, but I would also then maybe lean into the strength of the comp, which if you try to play normal Valorant when you have 5 duelists, you're gonna lose anyways. So you should really think about how to maximize your comp of 5 duelists rather than try to minimize the weaknesses. Let's see, attack. Interesting double satchel buy. This is the same buy that Austin goes for. Oh shit, this guy made it. I think you can peek that and see if he crosses. Like you have the timing here, but because we didn't peek it, he gets that timing. but it's kind of unfortunate. That's like a thoroughness thing if you're going for this fast satchel play. But notice how you're going for the satchel play without even throwing nade first. So I'm gonna switch over to my Valorant. Typically, when you go for this play, you peek this angle. If you have a judge, then you don't peek the angle, whatever. But then you would jump peek and then throw a nade for this. While that nade is exploding, you would clear close left. So I'm gonna do it in real time. Round start, go jump peek, throw a nade. Wait for nade to pop, peek, and then double satchel. Because then you get timing on the nade dissipating to push into U-hole. And if you did it a little bit quicker, right like this, you could kind of gamble that they don't swing off the nade. Very close, and then double satchel. Like I said, you get the advantage of this nade expiring before you double satchel, so you don't take your own damage. If you have a teammate to clear your cubby for you, or if you're following Skydog, for example, you could speed it up where you just nade, run up, and then double satchel, and then you eat a little bit of your nade damage, but it'll be a little bit quicker. But like that's if like you're following Skydog. In this case, we don't have Skydog, so you need to make sure you clear this. If you're being super thorough, like I said. But the main thing I really just want you to think about is using your nade for U-haul, because you're about to double satchel in the site without using your nade, which means that there's a chance where you just insta-die and then you don't get to use your nade in the round. And like I said before on defense, if you die without using your nade, you're doing something wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's say we were all duelist main and we were playing against a real team. Are we still going to lose because of comp? No. Typically, you win more games on 5 duelists because people know how to shoot their guns, to be honest. 5 duelist comps are actually pretty good. We're buying a Marshall? It's like
I can tell you the plan for this round.
Okay. What's the plan?
I'm just gonna be holding that long angle against
I'm gonna
Sky.
walk up close to the
Phoenix
ground.
walks up. I purposefully get flashed, so Sky swings and Phoenix swings off that.
Oh, I see. Like, bait this guy into swinging into you.
Yeah.
Interesting play. I mean,
Nice, good shit.
definitely works. I've never seen something like that before. Cause like, what's the downside of just dodging flash and then like you turning the flash and just fighting anyways?
Yeah, I definitely could have turned it. That was my bad.
Okay. Well,
Just straight up, I should have turned it anyway.
I see that thought
Wait,
process
Zip,
though.
it's crazy. Alright.
You bait the swing into
game.
the flash.
Numbers one.
I'm assuming this is a remnant of Jet gameplay, like when you buy Marshall. I completely avoid this gun when I play Wraith. Like I would be buying Stinger here. Well, that's not a kill.
Oh my god, please kill him. Get away, get away, get away.
You gotta hit up aim labs. Okay.
Guys, in U-haul, U-haul.
No, I'm kidding. We don't have Boombot this round. We have money for it. I think if you buy Boombot this round, you actually get that kill. Because then you would be able to like scale U-haul a little bit more effectively. Right, you would Boombot here. You wouldn't even peek this. You would just jump through a Boombot here, and then you would just follow it up with the nade. Again, comboing. So you can even think about comboing your util. Boombot into nade or into satchel, and then that would set you up for a kill. So it's a 3-way combo instead of just 2. But because you don't have that Boombot, it's kind of
Get away,
sketchy.
get away.
But you do throw a nade, which is
nade
awesome. You can see he just swings because of nade, because he's dumb and he wants ecos. But you could then consider satcheling close and then nading if you want to be super thorough because you don't have the Boombot. Right, the Boombot would normally cover this play. But because you don't have the Boombot, you might want to substitute the push with the satchel. But yeah, using util a little bit better here, I guess. They have triple flash, so walking up right side is hella risky. I don't hate it, but it's hella risky. So as long as you know.
Yep, someone was saying this round that they just like to early swing
Oh,
you,
what's in?
Gotcha.
or they like to early swing hookah.
140.
Relatable. That's so relatable. The second satchel just gets hit by the ledge, so we don't even get to do anything.
ET left side.
Is this angle good?
No.
No.
Guys, Bob is in hookah.
No.
Last player standing.
105.
Okay, there's a few things to notice here. But let's see if we win this round first. And no, we don't. One, we take Hugo, whatever. Notice this nade. If you throw nade I want you to
Makes
think
sense.
about how you would execute with this nade. Instead, you nade and then look for a fight, which is understandable given the team comp, right? Like there's no smoke for spawn. But more regularly, like you would throw, hopping back over to my Valorant here. More regularly, you would throw nade and then kind of just run out and then follow it up with the satchel. So you can kind of like kill them either when they're running from the nade or you just take the site space, right? Because something that can happen is if you throw this nade and just sit up here for a fight, and then after the nade dissipates, there's a spawn smoke. Let's just say there is a spawn smoke. They would just run out backside after the nade dissipates because you're not controlling the space. So again, Duelist's job is to take map control and take space. So the way you would do that most effectively is after your nade, you would entry. And then if you take the space off of the nade, if they ran out spawn, you would kill them. And then you would also be able to wrap site or, you know, whatever entry path you go for. So I'm not saying this is the best play in the situation because you have 5 duelists, but I want you to consider how you would speed up off of your nade. Because in this example, we go for this fight. So that's 1. 2 is the post plant. You get onto this angle pretty early, right? But then you just sit here. I want you to think about how could you get a kill before it even gets into post plant. Because it's a little bit uncomfortable. As an elbow player, we don't have a spawn smoke. Looking at it from my point of view, I would probably just boombot right side and then either peek right side or I would peek left side. If I peek left side and see nothing, then I would kind of just walk up. At the very least, I want you to look for a kill here rather than just holding. Holding is too safe for me. If you're just holding, then you have much better positions to do that, like up here. You could just, you know, take sight, see nothing. You could hold from up here. Like I said, you could reposition up here. But if you're this close to CT and you're just holding, I feel like 1, it's a bad angle, but 2, you're so close enough that you might as well just go for a peek because you have the opportunity to do so. And you still have boombot, so I guess you could even boombot off left side and then peek right side. Gotta go for something. But this is too safe. Like if you sit here, to me, this is too safe. If you're gonna play safe, then you just play a better angle up here.
Okay. Now I have a question about the entry here.
Okay.
I saw the first
Well
time
done.
when you did it, you just used a single satchel.
Yeah.
Would you, or I guess
35.
pros and cons of doing the single satchel into front versus the double satchel on the backside with the backside nade?
Yeah, so good question. With the so sometimes when I actually execute like this, I actually don't even single satchel, I satchel like this. Like I satchel into cubby. This is actually my most common way to execute on B because then everything is covered. Right, aside from elbow, I guess, and spawn because we don't have spawn smoke. So in this example, since we don't have spawn smoke, you might consider doing the double satchel just to get out of harm's way. I failed it. In this case, doing double satchel would probably make sense because you want to kind of make more space because we don't have the smoke. The smoke inherently lets you control the space more. Doing single satchel, right, lets you have your gun out, but then also just get a little bit more tempo. So if you can kind of clear cubby with your single satchel peek, like you're kind of going out, you just get a little bit faster with your nade, and then you would be able to capitalize while your nade is exploding, right? So double satchel basically gives you a little bit more safety in terms of this cubby, because if you make it back here, you're pretty safe from that guy and they're in nade. But and you get to take more space, right? That's the pros. The cons is that if there is a guy here or in tube, you just die, so it's more risky in that case. The single satchel part I find is a little bit more safe in general on a standard execute because you would have smokes here, and then you would have long teammates coming out to kind of keep this cubby guy from swinging wide. Like this guy can't swing wide because he's gonna die from long. So that means that if you single satchel out, you can fully focus on the deep corner, kill that guy, and then you can kind of proceed. So single satchel is safer in the context of a standard execute. Double satchel gets more space and is potentially safer if there are no smokes, elbow, or spawn. But again, for me, normally actually I just nade like this and then satchel like this, and I'll just jump out because I find that converts this cubby kill a little bit better. But there's a lot of variance to there. Like it's honestly whatever feels better for you. If I was really good at double satchels, maybe I would double satchel every time. But my double satchels are kind of shit.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Yeah, my double satchels are poo, so I don't really do it. But I can imagine like if you get a really good double satchel, like
Satchel out.
can't even do it. Let's say you nade backside and then you double satchel onto this box. Like that might be the best entry you could do. But again,
Satchel
my
out.
double satchels are
Satchel
poo.
out.
Can't even do it. How do you do that? Is this possible?
Satchel out. Satchel out.
I don't know. Anyways. Any questions or comments about the entry?
Yes, one more question. When it comes to nade positioning, doing it in cubby versus in tube versus backside, that's just based off of enemy tendency.
Yes. However, I think if it's also timing, the quickest nade that you can throw from hookah is backside, right? Because it's just the one that you open up to first. So that's the most common one to throw. However, I would say the cubby one actually gives you more value than the backside nade because it fully clears this corner. And then you can just go up top side and then kill the guy backside. Because this fight for me feels favorable going up top side, whereas like this fight doesn't feel as favorable. So if you're looking off of purely positioning value, this nade cubby is better. And then the one that's better than both of those is actually the tube nade, but this one takes the long, like this is the slowest nade that you can do because it's the last one that you get to, right? This is the first one. Then you have to run out wide to nade cubby, and then you have to run out even wider to nade tube. So it's all about matching your timing of the execute. Like if your teammates are coming out long and they're already coming out, then you just nade backside. If they're being a little bit slower, then you can nade cubby. If they're being super slow or the round got reset, then you would nade tube, and then you would go from there. And that's not a hard rule. Like again, you could do it off of what you think the enemy positions are and tendencies and things like that. But it's more so about the timing than anything. And that's really the more important thing to consider. Any questions on that?
No, that makes sense.
Satchel out. Here comes the party.
Back to the VOD. Morning, Tro.
Go get the bomb.
So again, just seeing this, you can see you hold this angle for a little too long. Let's see, when did we get here? 121, and then we're fighting this angle for a while, actually. We don't really do anything active until
Bomb is in hookah.
around 111. So that's 10 seconds. 10 seconds of holding an angle. You could have peek spawn and maybe even killed the guy in that 10 seconds. Or you could even reposition into elbow with your Reyna in that 10 seconds. Like that could have been a great play too. You boombot spawn to hold it a little bit and then you just instant rotate the elbow. So, too much downtime. Too much downtime. Got offense. Or next round, I mean. So no one left side short, which is nice. Slow round. Big tower control. Okay. Peeks into the Uriel. Wow, that's like a last second thing too. He fell off of the box to peek in the showers. Wow. I mean, hindsight, you would just wait for the guy to get info, but kind of also unlucky. Is this someone you coach
I was
regularly?
definitely treating him like a sky dog.
Yeah, Skydog. Yeah, you just bite that guy. It's more like a silver drone, right? I don't coach Kit regularly, but it will be a regular thing moving forward. Okay, let's look at this round. We go B long. That's fine. About close. Feels kind of wasted. I think what you might do here. So, Boombot in close isn't technically bad because they have triple flash. But I also feel like because they let us run up so close, that's not really the Boombot I'm looking for. I'd want you to jump peek in the site. So I'm hopping back over to my Valorant here. I have Boombot in hand. I would jump peek and then throw Boombot right side. So this would let me get info on if they're peeking right side site, which is actually what you die to, coincidentally. But this is kind of what I'm doing. And then I Boombot that side, and then the Boombot would kind of zone this angle, which would then let me peek and clear this angle. And then that would let me kind of speed up for the execute. So boom, Boombot zones left side. I clear close, and then I can kind of go for the execute. And depending on where the Boombot goes, like if that could clear cubby, that would be great, but I don't think it will. So then you might go into the execute with nading cubby, or you can nade tube, or you can nade spawn run out, or you can nade back sight. Just doing whatever. But then that would like prep you into the execute more. So the big takeaway for this is just boombotting. One, to not die to the opper, or sorry, jump peeking. One, to not die to the opper, and then two, using the boombot to zone off that angle. Because in my opinion, I think this boombot gets more value than just clearing close. Yeah. Any questions or comments on that?
Satchel out.
Makes sense.
Next round. Surprised you're not really just rushing up A short though. You don't have raise nade. You have like double flash, triple flash actually. What's up, King? Like we're defaulting with the 5 duelist comp. That doesn't really
I
seem
can get the angle. I can get. Oh, he's
very strong.
Back up, back up, back up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no smoke.
Spike down A.
I don't know if there's really much to comment here. This guy dies. We get infiltrated by the op heaven. Like, they're just playing the lack of smokes. I guess you might consider going A short more because then you can double satchel in the U-Haul and you don't really need a smoke, right? Because U-Haul would cover all the other angles. Whereas if you go showers, you're pretty reliant on that heaven smoke or the triple smoke. So based off of your comp here, maybe you would go less showers and more short. Like your goal should be U-Haul rather than site control, I guess. Just due to the limitations of our comp. And again, we go showers. I'm assuming we just get shit on.
He's triple.
Yeah, like you notice how you can't even get out of showers because you have no smoke.
Spike down A.
That's just the downside here.
Triple CT.
This guy's
CT.
trying to boom bot.
Heaven's dead.
One enemy remaining.
Nice. Last one could be flanking.
Last player
He's
standing.
flanking.
Ooh, you don't ult that guy?
Nice. But it's huge.
He knows you're not gonna go through because the door is not
He's running
open.
around, you heard him.
They can hear the door.
Hey, yo, Queenie, thanks for the raid.
Easy raid.
Left.
You win the clutch? I don't like this angle. Too tight. Fuck. Well, we got it. We got it. The big thing I want to again note this round is like we're defaulting shower control, which is good to get showers, and you probably have the best kit to do so. So it works in terms of map control, but it makes your execute like really bad. In for you specifically, like maybe the overall execute might be stronger, but you specifically, it's really hard for you to get out of showers because you have no smoke. So it's just something to consider. Like if I was playing this game, I'd be like, fuck this. I can't even get out of showers because this guy heaven. I'm just gonna go short and then double satchel U-Haul or something. Yeah. I guess any questions on that?
I guess alternate play. If I do play showers, then double satcheling in between truck and triple, because then triple will cover my heaven.
Yeah.
And I could fight the backside guy.
You could do that, yeah. You could also even think about switching up your nade position. So you're nading off of, I don't even know what you're trying to nade there. I'm switching over
I
to
was trying
Valorant.
to nade U-Haul.
Okay. So the U-Haul nade doesn't really do anything for you. It might like force the guy to push forward. Right, like if you nade U-Haul, it might force this guy to push forward into the other side of U-Haul. But to me, that's not enough help for you because the problem we established here is that you're having trouble getting out of showers. So the two nades you might consider is one close bench, which is to deal with that Astro playing close to us. You might have to narrow it a little bit more so it lands in the corner. So that's a good one. And then the other nade to consider is just bouncing off of this box so it lands behind triple so you don't have to worry about triple. Those are the two nades. I guess if you can actually peek, which you might have to do some jump peeks here, but then nading this corner here could be a good one. A little too deep, but yeah. So you either nade here, or here if you're trying to execute out of showers. And this is true even if you had smokes. Nading backside like this or like the spawn flood like that, like can be good, but right now priority is to get site control and we're having a hard time doing that. So just, I guess, understand priorities first for site execs. Okay.
So like if the short players or me as a shower player gets 2 picks, then nading spawn might be a better idea.
Yeah. Yep. For the flood. What we do when the clutch was just nice. Note I want to put down for offense is we're not really changing things up too much. You're currently just going showers or hookah. Oh, actually, you might be long, but for A, we're just going showers control, and that's kind of more so for the team. So I guess the note I want you to put here, maybe it's not really the changing things up too much, but I want you to think about what is the best for you and not really overall team. And maybe that's specifically a note for 5 duelist game, but this kind of also applies in normal comps, right? Like if you were to play a normal comp unbind, in my opinion, the best execute for race still would be A short. The only time I would go showers is like if my teammates aren't having problems going A short. And then the best execute for raise would be hookah. But if they're nade TPing on you, I wouldn't even force hookah. I would just go B long. Right? So kind of like getting, I guess what I want to say here is like understanding what's best for you in the situation. And right now it feels like going showers isn't that. And then another point that we can think about, just because we've seen the post plant on B, is maybe we could be a little bit more active in that. And actually I think we had that note from last time. Is taking aggressive
More
map
active
control.
on the post plants.
So maybe the note to put here is like, we could paste it over, but we could reword it here is try to hunt for a kill in post plant if you have the health or utility. So I guess if you have the opportunity. Maybe it's better to say make an opportunity. Try to hunt for a kill in the post plant. We need to be more active. If you have a judge or an op, then what you're doing kind of makes sense, but even then you can be a little bit more aggressive.
I have ult. I can ult him.
So this is good. Now we're going A short. I like going A short.
Never mind.
I shit something in showers.
Triple TP back there. You haul. You haul.
You're dead.
He's both CT. CT.
So this was good because you comboed your nade with your swing, right? Like this is a good example of that.
Triple TP back there. You haul.
I think the note
You
here
haul.
is simply you're just scared of that
He's
fight.
positive.
Like we just have to commit to that duel. I don't know if you notice on minimap
TP
here.
back there.
Actually, you can even just see this Phoenix is getting ready to swing. So off of the info that I see my Phoenix close triple, I would just nade and then go for the
You
swing,
haul.
right? Because like it would be a double swing. But two, you also just committed your nade, but you're jiggle peeking this guy, which is not good. Like if you commit your nade, that means that that should be a full swing because you need to get a kill off of it. And the way I like to think about it is like if I nade, I'm like I have to get a kill. But really like in short, this just means don't be scared to take the duel. Like this is a good duel for you to take. And because you go for that jiggle fight,
both CT.
you don't trade the chamber, so he kills the Phoenix ult. And then now he gets to reposition and then fight you. Like he's now taking an isolated duel on you. And then chances are we lose the round.
Nice.
But
2 CTs.
maybe
going
not.
on.
The Reyna actually gets to trade, so that's good. Here's the
2
Reyna.
CT as well.
We do lose the round though. Dumb. So now we go hookah. Bot hookah is always good.
Drop side.
Drop.
All the Yoru ult, nade back to site. You're nading the Reyna, which is fine too. Oh, nice.
Wait, chamber's still on A, guys. Go. CT. I
Great
think.
swing.
Cham-
Shout out Yoru ult.
Size of it. Nice, huge pick.
One triple, no?
You could probably tell actually just from watching this game, if you specifically made it a note, is that we actually don't get that many gunfights in offense. The gunfights that we do take are jiggle fights, like the guy Heaven with the op, or the guy back triple, or even the guy that we just fought on the round before in the chamber. So there's a few things that means to me is one, maybe you just don't have enough space to feel comfortable. But two, maybe we're just scared in general. So I don't know which the case is, but if it's the space problem, then we could try forcing double satchels earlier, right? Your double satchel here is kind of late. You might even consider double satching here a little bit earlier to make space on site, right? But like right now, we're actually, if you draw a line from your teammates, we're the last one in line. Yoru's in front of us, Jet's in front of us, Reyna's in front of us, and Phoenix has already gotten a kill showers, and technically he's in front of us too if we draw the line like this. So
Yeah.
we're last in line here. We should not be last in line because you and Jet are the movement agents. So like he needs to be dashing up, and you need to be sashing out. Like even the round
I
before.
definitely feel like
Go ahead.
I definitely feel like it's an issue of being scared. Because I feel like I don't know Raze as well as I know Jet.
That's fair. And Jet dashes are
So-
safer, right? Because you have a smoke.
Yeah.
That's just a thing that you have to get comfortable, I think, with. It's just understanding when to go for satchels. Like even in this example here on this round, like you see the Yoru, right? He's gonna clear sight for you, which is great.
Drop side.
Drop.
I would start trying to throw my nade backside and then sashing out based off secondary info I get. So nade backside would cover that, and then I would satchel out and then pre-aim the Reyna and kill him. Because I would see him off of the Yoru. But like we don't even go for that space. You wait for your other duelist to kind of come out, then you throw a nade, and then now you're following them, right? The Jet dashed out. and then the Reyna blinded and jumped out. You're the last one out again, off of this example, right? Whereas like I think realistically you should be one of the first players out because
Drop.
you're following the Euro rule and these guys are behind you. So it's just a common thing that we're seeing is like we're scared to be first or second out on the execute, and you're prioritizing getting the kills rather than making the space. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that you could maybe work on is focus on making space / entering on sites rather than your life, I guess, / getting kills. And it's a fear that you just have to overcome because you don't know how to do it yet, which is understandable, but you won't learn how to do it if you don't do it. And right now we haven't done it yet. Like even all the double satchels we've seen so far on attack have been safe double satchels. Like you've satcheled from here to here onto default like twice. And we haven't gone for the early round double satchel in the showers once. Go for the early duel.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that is that. Any questions for me?
No, I feel like I asked them already.
That is good. Let's end there. Someone in chat summed it up pretty well. More explosiveness, the Raze vibe. So yeah, just have some more explosive offense game style gameplay. And I guess the hard part is knowing when to be explosive, but
Yeah.
that's definitely a focus point for us.
Satchel out. Here comes the party. My ult's ready.
Alrighty, I will see you next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, peace out.
Is there any specific VOD you want me to have?
No, I'll have to look at the tracker or something, or you can take a look at the tracker, but it doesn't really matter, I think. To me, it's less map stuff right now and more so just Raze comfort, if anything.
Yeah, I'll just make it a raise map then.
Yep. Alright. Peace out.
Thank you.
Alrighty, chat. Did you like that, guys? That was Kit. That one ran a little long, so we're just gonna go ahead and hop into this raffle. Then we can kind of talk about stuff while we have the raffle open. Mod start. The notes. Thank you. Be less huge and more Dopai. True, actually. Dopai, is Kit the fourth potentially Radiant student you have? I mean, he's only a Mortal 1, so I wouldn't really say potentially Radiant, I guess. That was very thorough, that's for sure. Yeah, we're trying to make the Kit VODs because he... to give a little bit of backstory of what's going on with Kit, he's not a raffle VOD student like that we do here. That's normal. He's someone that I noticed potential in my first VOD review. And just like how JPC was a series with Hooge, Ulrich saw the opportunity to maybe make Kit a series where we coach him recurringly. I guess somewhat like my private students. But he had to go through like a criteria for a month and stick to a routine and like prove that he was a good candidate for it. And he did. So it's something we're just exploring. Maybe it's good for content. How does his Raze look cleaner than Shadow's Kappa? What was the routine like? Ulrich had all the specifics, but I think it was like kind of sticking to a schedule and stuff like that. I don't know actually what the specifics were. But again, just join the raffle here. If we have less than 5 entries, which looks like what is gonna happen, I'll just go through the forum and roll it from there. He's a Mortal 1 now? Yeah. He was Ascendant 2, I believe. Ascendant 2, I think, when I bought a review to him a month ago. Now he's a Mortal 1. Also, Kit, if you're still in chat, by the way, for Raze players, I recommend you have slightly higher sensitivity. So you're on 125, I would recommend you try to play on like 1.4. Just so you can like flick high enough to throw satchels if you're throwing them at enemies, or speeding up on satchels. Like right now, I think a part of it of you playing slow is because of the lower sense. Whereas like on the previous split game I saw, you were playing a lot quicker. and maybe even more confidently with your util and comboing it because you're on a higher sense. So I would consider going back, like going up a little bit. You definitely have the mouse control for it. So maybe